Welcome everyone, this is Unfiltered Talks powered by Accolades. I am here with the newly elected president of WMCB, one of the top leagues in the area, promoting youth cricket not only from the ground up, but also taking the talents to the USA national team. There is a certified pathway and there's going to be a lot of conversation, but first off, welcome.
Thank you, Charan.
Yeah, this is going to be great. We are at the beautiful Aroma restaurant. I wanted to start with the hot topic in the area. The hot topic is some beef going on. The beef starts with two leagues here for a long time. Then a third player wants to join the party that has been established. Tell me from your perspective, what's going on?
WCL has been a grandfather of DMV and they've been around since 1959.
Yep.
They do have a strong presence in DMV region. Then come WMCB starting 2001 as we are celebrating our 25th anniversary.
Oh, yeah,
and it's going to be grand. We have some grand plans throughout the season. A chunk of it you have already seen in our AGM. I think what led us to where we are today, and by no means I don't want to proclaim myself as a change leader.
Doge of DMV. Doge of DMV is here.
We are not like Doge. Keeping politics aside, I think, as I said, history, right? In 2017, 16, 17-ish time frame, as we all are coming and fighting COVID, and come 2019, where we are trying to come out of COVID, things happened in our league, where my predecessors decided to take action, and as a result, we are here. Ethics of your personality and basic fundamental of why you are in that position really plays a pivotal role in decision making. Resources are at the core of any fights. WMCB is not immune to it either.
Yep.
We growing league, just like any growing league needs food, and WMCB needs food, and our foods are cricket grounds.
Yeah.
But I have been in various positions in executive committee since 2008, 2009, have seen ups and downs of the league, from 8-team league to 35-team league to 25. I have seen it all in last 16 years. I'm around the block. What is concerning in this particular instance is, as a president of the league, your intentions needs to be clearly defined. There is a fine line between dictatorship and a democracy.
Okay.
Right? You look at politics around the world. China claims themselves as a self-rule dictatorship, but they can. If you go to that country, they and talk to their people, it's like we have democracy. It's just ruled by one party.
Yeah.
Same thing. You come to United States, you go to other part of the world, the definition of democracy is different.
Yeah.
In our region, that line has been crossed several times.
So what you're saying is that this two-party system that is almost coexisting, now this independent party is coming in, there is some thought has to be given that why not, right? There is an appetite, people are playing, giving the right to play everywhere, right? But it seems it is not a democracy if you're forcing a decision, right? Where we're saying, you can play here and you cannot play here. How do you confirm as a new president to say it is the player's choice? It should be player's choice where they play. If they want to play at a different level, it should have a choice. Right now, it seems like a top-down approach.
Absolutely. So I think I know where you're getting at, Sharon. Let me help you clarify the thought.
Yeah.
Just like any league, each has their own rules and regulations. You go play in WCL, the expectation is to abide by their rules and regulations. WMCB has a similar policy. As a player, we expect you to respect our governing documents, respect our bylaws, respect our constitution, and play within the framework which has already been approved and approved by general membership. I strongly disagree with this narrative that we are blocking.
So why just, you said it, you can go from WCL and play in WMCB, no problems, 1-1. But then in the same handbook, we're excluding this third league. I understand the general body members voted for it, but do you think from rudimentary, do you think that's fair?
I think it is fair.
Okay.
Other international governing bodies followed the same protocol and seen results. WMCB is no different. We have established processes. If any player who doesn't agree, we say thank you and see you later. There is a fine line between dictatorship and democracy. It's important for us as a league to foster good relationship within the region. But when you make friends, you also need to be careful of who you are making your friends, right? There is no such thing as sworn enemies or blocking.
If they bring new resources, you're open to business. Is that what you're getting to?
Sure. We have made multiple attempts. Like it or not, in 2023, I have led delegation myself with some other mid parties, and I approached them. I said, listen, we are all cooking in the same kitchen. And we all know at the end of the day, we are going to sit on the same dining table and eat dinner together. Is it worth of fighting for a spoon? That courtesy has been given multiple times. The response, however, was not only pathetic.
But if you don't mind me, what was the response?
The response we got was an unwarranted protest.
Let's take a step at a time. The protest was a byproduct of something that had to happen internally, right? And then that kind of rolled or dripped over into a meltdown and physical protest. Before that, there was an internal meeting. I'm pretty sure something was communicated. What was that communication?
There was no communication.
When you went to the meeting, they
said, we don't agree with any of your terms. We have nothing to do with you guys. You're on your own route. We're gonna abolish you.
But what was our
proposal? Our proposal was that, look guys, in good faith, as a big brother, we are reaching out to you. XYZ are our terms and conditions, right? And to get into the specific, all we said, just apologize in front of our general membership in writing. Forget about giving us what you have taken. Even apology would go a long way. At the end of the day, you guys have gotten those resources where you have formed your league of.
So let's take it at a foundational level, right? Around these counties, all of us have basically a point of contact to the county getting these permits. So it's not the league itself getting the permit, it's a one-off. So
I'm the president of the league. If I go to county, how am I going to introduce myself? My name is Pratik Patel. I represent XYZ League. The county is going to say, give me your paperwork. Show me your insurance. That you have liability insurance. You as an individual, you're not going to come up with $5 million of insurance out of the blue. That insurance was in the name of the Washington Metropolitan Cricket Board.
So the influence versus being documented. If a point of contact, even though someone is going as a designee, the point of contact, but the company or a nonprofit, in our case is WMCB, should be the owner or the correct piece of paper holder, right?
Correct.
But in our case, it seemed like that there was a disconnect.
I disagree. We still have the paperwork, the insurance, copy of the insurance, the email threads, we got the details. The reality is that you, as a leader, crossed your red line. You did something you're not supposed to, which was not fair to the other paying member of the league. Even if you don't apologize, there are fundamental
Before we
right?
Before we get into even the resolution part, and I think that's definitely a criteria that we'll get into and try to see what's next steps. But before we even get to the resolution, I'm really curious about that protest part of it, right? Because we skipped over it. Tell me a little bit about, so you, again, go into the meeting again, we went to the meeting, WMCB represented a proposal, they came to the table and sat there silently, didn't have the response, and then even beyond that, they protested. Like, how did that make?
You have to ask them, right? How did you guys did this? What we control is we give them an offer through a mediator. We had an agreement to do XYZ after the fact.
Exactly. So if you don't mind, what is the XYZ, if we can get into that?
So the mediator...
Is it a mediator appointed by someone?
No, that was a mediator, respected member of DMV community, and a leader of the other league was also involved into all of these conversations. And the reason why both WCL and WMCB has such a strong bond is because we understand each other's needs, support in tough time, And over the course of this many years, we have been able to foster the relationship without any documentation, right? Based on mutual understanding. The relationship goes on as new administration take a role on both sides of the league. We continue to build upon the relationship, and as you go through this year, you'll see some new development of how we are architecting this and how we are formalizing this. There were respected mediators. I had a discussion with my counterpart. I was a vice president. I had a lot of convincing to do, but we still did it. In a good faith, we said, forget about resources. We all know that they can't survive, right? And we came up with our workaround on how we want to establish ourselves. So we have our core rules and parameters drawn. Even the discussion, we led it to our internal BOD as well. We presented our plan, and BOD said, yeah, that is something what I think we should pursue. That despite being humiliated multiple times in multiple forums, in multiple places, that tells you the character of WMCB.
Forums are a great topic, so this was the first time it happened in my life, but there's a lot of communication online, different groups, different forums. How does WMCB as a whole tackle that? And how do you as an individual, because being in that hot seat, you're going to get some of that fire. So let's take the WMCB perspective.
From a WMCB standpoint, we have a clear vision and a mission. Let's make WMCB great again. That's our motto. We have never worried about other competitively. Historically, you look at the history since last 25 years, we generally don't care. We have been proactive on other things, God bless them. Right? From a WMCB standpoint, it doesn't bother us. We are okay with status quo. We are happy where we are. We have plans in place. Because of our strong governance and organizational structure, we have been thriving. From a personal standpoint, we live in a free country. Part of the problem is that everybody wants to be a self-appointed Chaudhry of the region.
For our viewers who doesn't understand, the word Chaudhry basically means a self-appointed leader.
I would be more concerned if you had a personality that worked your way up. You have understood the need of grassroots level cricket and the willingness of governing the organization. For me, white noise is white noise. I focus on my deliverables and let the white noise be white noise. We are standing firm on our deliverables and on our requirement. Because of what had happened up till thus far, we have made a firm commitment to our general membership that we will do everything in our power to safeguard our resources, safeguard our talent, and safeguard our league. And we are going to do that by applying proactive approach. If an enemy reaches to me and I know his intention is to kill me, then I better reach them before they reach me. And I fire the first bullet.
So that means go on the offensive, right? The best defense of your offense is what we are getting at. Does that mean, are we gonna have something targeted where we have a very, of course, the resolution aside, is there a targeted approach for our growth in the WMCB? Let's shift to the positive aspects. What are some of your goals for the next year, next 2 years of your presidency, right? And then walk me through like how is it going to be different from the prior?
Sure. When I ran my campaign last several years, I have always stated two statements: improvement via involvement, and less government, more governance. You can talk to my executive committee member. You can have a conversation with my board of directors. They will tell you that the changes we have made to deliver this two statement back to general membership in last 90 days alone has not been done in last 9 years. Let's start with the league's last year progress. My predecessor has done a phenomenal job on maintaining the standards. My executive match secretary has done phenomenal job since last 40 years, making sure that WMCB provides the utmost competitive environment to their general membership. Results are in front of you. Where we were in 2008-9 with 9 teams, no grounds to play. Today we have one of the region's finest resources. Play a shot on any WMCB ground, that drive will hit the boundary road. Look at our talent, what WMCB has been able to acquire for this many years. And from a vision standpoint, we have implemented some serious changes in our team league structure. Starting from renaming the division, with setting up a vision that at the end of the second or third year or fourth year, if general membership thinks I'm doing a fantastic job, changes will come. But the vision is that at the end of fourth year, my premier division's last ranking team should be able to compete with our competitors' leagues, top divisions, top ranking team. That is our vision.
That's a bold claim because there's a lot of teams coming in and out. So are you saying that by squeezing the number of teams, is that what the vision is, where we squeeze number of teams in Premier?
Not necessarily. From a leadership perspective, we have always valued input of our general membership. Together we are stronger. Together we'll thrive. This is not one-man show. This is not one-man job. It doesn't matter how good a leader you are. If you don't have a vision, mission, hunger and desire, you will never get there. I invested 15 years understanding the league operation. I'm here to make significant progress and showcase the results. I want to make sure my membership and the DMV area judge me based on the work what my administration has produced, the quality work my administration has produced. Without that, what's the point?
What would be a failure to you? If I understand the claim of the bottom ranking team competing with the top, that's great. But what do you consider a complete failure, if not something that will be accepted?
It all comes down to how you do it. If you have not tasted failure, you will never enjoy your success. I have seen failures, not only in professional life, even in personal life I have seen failures. I have been through it again and again. Yet, we come out shining because we are determined. In my opinion, or in my mind, failure would be something where we lose the trust of general membership in our ability to deliver. Change is disruptive. The changes we are bringing in from a structure standpoint, from a planning committee standpoint, bringing in A+ resources for our general membership to enjoy. Our job is to provide facilities, facilitate, give them the opportunity to showcase their cricketing skill set. Time will tell. Our teams are stronger. They know how to fire a bullet and what to do on the ground. The result would follow if we focus on excellence.
What are some of the lessons learned, like top lessons learned from the previous? You were part of that, right? So what is the biggest lesson learned where you thought, hey, when I become president, this must be it?
So I think there are a few, but I'll stick to what I strongly believe in. Transparency and accountability. My predecessor should have done a much better job. You only have something to hide if you're doing something wrong.
So when you say transparency aspect, let me take a tackle it from a couple of perspectives, right? One is the financial aspect. Number one, transparency comes in by providing numbers saying this came in and this went out. How are we gonna?
Fantastic question, Charan. I was elected on 6th of December actually. 13th of December, I initiated a process to have a full detailed budget. My budget was over 80 line items. Not one, not two, not four, 80 line items. It was broken down bit by bit. On 23rd of December, I believe, I called upon a special AGM, despite reservation from my other executive committee members. Because, again, transparency. The only way we'll be able to win the trust of our general membership is if we open to them. We have nothing to hide. They need to know our process. We had a 3.5-hour budget conversation. Everybody asked fantastic questions. That tells me there is a hunger to know, why is it like this?
Why are we not, I know at the capital layers and it has been provided, but can we not make these same Excel sheet or the numbers transparent on the website?
Yes.
As part of the non-profit compliance or?
I want you to go on WMCBleague.com, go to document section, log in, go to the document section. My last year P&L accounts and balance sheet is already updated. I don't think This was an oversight.
What I'm saying is, doesn't transparency come with a force? Somebody can go to the document. Wouldn't transparency come from just being outright in the face, yourself rather,
Yes.
for them to be going somewhere? Just put those numbers as part of it. As a login, somebody logs in, sees another tab, and
Yeah,
sees.
implemented that process first week of January, right? And even in last 90 days, this administration has been around. We have not only been able to successfully send in monthly report to the registered club POCs, official communication, detailing expenses and incomes coming from, where are we spending it, what is the next step looks like. We are in February 2025. My treasurer is already working on preparing budget for 2026. Why? Because again, we want to take advantage of the available platforms and get ahead. So we don't be reactive, we be proactive. What has done this approach of transparency has allowed me to focus from unwarranted, nonsensical discussion to actually doing my job. My job is to focus on the league, not buried myself answering baseless question about somebody's stupidity or somebody's stupid thought.
And also, are you gonna then, from now, what it looks like is, the question is going to vendor management. I think one of the topics that we talked about was that we are gonna really select the vendors through our league.
Before we get to vendor management, let me finish my thought on transparency. The key element to success here. That has to do with informing the general membership on a regular basis. Since my administration has took over the office, we have started distributing meeting minutes to entire general membership. Guess what, guys? These are the 50 things we did last week, the 50 things in the pipeline. These were the decision made. This was the vote. If you know, as a club point of contact, captain, or any playing member in WMCB, what your executive committee did last week, don't you think that's
relevant,
complete transparency?
But to be quite honest, it is only relevant at a members and admin level. To a cricketer on the ground,
It really is irrelevant. I agree with you.
because we are constantly, again, let me put a player's perspective here. Been part of these leagues for about 15, 20 years, cumulative. The problem has been, we have been raising funds for a long time. Essentially, sovereign funds are there. If we are talking about pooling money together, even if it's, why are we not able to get, again, better accommodations, right? Why are we not able to get better infrastructure? Why are we still stuck with numbers and paper pushing? How is it not translated to the players?
The key element to that question has to do with regional challenges beyond our control, right? And I will give you just a simple example. We have, let's say we have X cricket ground, a county resource, right? When you go out to request a permit, they're gonna give you that resource, what they have available. You give them the specs, they're gonna try their best to accommodate you.
Yeah.
But ultimately you are at their mercy.
Yeah.
If they says your grass cannot be cut more than 2 inches down,
I'm asking about private investment because now we have the funds. Why are we not able to acquire our own league land?
so it has to do with the region we are living in. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, the glorification, I think the glorification of this private fund needs to stop. We are non-profit charitable organization. Over 90% and 95% comes from membership fees. Those fees are broken down into expenses we have. When you look at our bank account, your eyes may pop out, oh my God, wow,
Yeah.
this is what you have? Why can't you do this?
Yeah.
Because that's not enough. That's not even a down payment for a price of a land we have. Then the convenience factor comes into the picture. Can we get cheaper land somewhere, nice land? Sure, absolutely we can get that. But the commute would be a challenge.
No, but I feel like at this point, the players are not even worrying about, because I have seen, even myself, traveling hours upon hours on
Yep.
different places, right? I don't think convenience is a factor. If it's there, players will come. But what I feel like is not happening is that first approach. Is WMCB positioning themselves to be the leader in the DMV region? Or is it just going to be, let me do the wait and watch approach with other leagues and do something?
Not necessarily. So we are taking a leadership role here. We're in the process of getting an investor group together.
Okay.
We are in the process of forming a trust.
Okay.
Where we can put all the money into the pot and hunt for these resources.
But if you tell this to the general public rather than the spreadsheets, they can probably augment this process,
Correct.
right? Because if we think about the region we live in, rather than looking at the negatives of being expensive, you can also see that we are essentially having the cream of the crop in this area.
Yep.
If we involve them in private investment, don't you think that would be a collaborative and transparent effort?
Absolutely. But without governance and strong structure, all those conversations will
But private investors bring that, right?
No. Private investors will give you money. Here is my check, go spend it.
Okay.
It's easy to spend your own money. But when you're spending somebody else's, you have 1,000 questions to answer. Just like you're buying the house.
Yep.
Right? Bank
Yep.
is giving you money, there's that big stack of paper you need to sign
Yep.
for a mortgage. This is not it. My approach has always been more organized and tactful. Hit them where it hurts them. Let's not waste time,
Yeah.
right? Let me give you a progress report of what we have been able to do so far. And
Yeah.
all of this has
Yeah.
been shared, by the way, with general
Yeah.
membership in December, special AGM. That we have taken a first stab at this. We have people scouting 3 regions, try and acquire a land where we can build our infrastructure. Now, the model what we are following is a little ad hoc, but it has to do with us striking a fine balance in between our vision and our mission. This is not an overnight move, which is going to happen. This is going to take time. We all know this is going to take time. There are very influenced people of the region are currently involved very actively in this process.
Okay.
Even tomorrow, I am going to a property where it's a 13-acre plot, and we are meeting with a real estate agent, try and understand the parcel situation and county permits.
So let's take a step back. You're going to see a property, you have a range in mind. Can you disclose that number? That becomes the goal. The general member body should be able to say, we are going to reach this goal by 2027, 2026. Personally, if you can bring that in the 4 years we are committing to, people will remember your presidency because this is a significant step.
There are 2 things. 1, we have already done that. 2, I don't want people to remember me because this accomplishment has been checked on my to-do list. 3 years ago, I brought in North Point High School. Last year, we brought in another ground in North Point High School.
Envisioning the new investment, first off, bringing cricket at a broadcasting level,
Yes.
not just a playing level.
Before we get to that level, we have some strong steps to plan. From a general membership perspective, we are not there yet. Can we disclose and plan? Hell yeah, we can plan anything we want. We can accomplish if we are determined to deliver the results back to general membership. From a transparency standpoint, we could have done better disclosing this, but these are confidential information. If I start throwing out all the cards on the table.
But I'm saying the number. At least you're going to see a house, it's $2 million, we're $3 million, $10 million, $40 million. That number has to have in mind before you reach a property.
It comes down to how healthy your league financial. If you're looking for a rough number, we are looking at anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million property. We have teams actively searching for it. Washington has been scouting the Manassas area and another region. I know some of the teams such as Paktoon and Bir Sultan, they are actively scouting the Culpeper area and Woodbridge area. Again, all of these are things in motion. I think this is no secret to our general membership. As a leader, I can promise, but is it realistic? From where I am sitting today, where I know what history looks like, I know the future, living in the present, I have to determine where I am today. What I need to do to get there. And 3, this is not one man show. This is everybody. This is a collective team. Is my team ready?
Yeah.
Once my team says yes, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Then I need to say, is my 19 teams consist of 1,400 active cricket playing members? Are they ready?
Okay.
I don't think that step number 2 and step number 3 is ready. Doesn't mean they can't be ready tomorrow. Doesn't mean they can't be ready day after tomorrow. It's just not there yet, right? And this is like a baby. It's gonna go through its phase. Rushing, it's not gonna deliver accurate results. I would rather focus on what I can accomplish today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, rather than worrying about what's gonna happen to me after a year. That's okay, whatever happens, it happens. Look at our political environment last 30 days, right? Have you ever seen the press conference?
that is
like, I have never seen it in my life.
So now switching to lighter topics, right? Who is winning the 2025 championship in WMCB? What's your team? One team used to.
I strongly think if Washington plays the type of cricket they play, they have a strong chance to win the championship.
20 and 40.
I'm differentiating this tukde gang versus a fully organized gel team, right? There is a difference. Again, we'll get you some of this, some of that, but the qualification criteria determined by match secretary for starting this year is really going to challenge this concept of tukde gang and see where we stand.
Saying Washington is a team and you're not given any thought about United, DC Tigers, none of those teams.
I think DC Tigers is a strong competitor. They have a proven history, a phenomenal track record. I'm not doubting their ability. But it all comes down to what game they are bringing consistently throughout the year. Remember, the only 4 teams will qualify for semi-final, right? This is the quarterfinal stage. Either you bring your A game or get challenged by a rookie team, right?
Okay.
When we talk about Premier Division, I think Premier Division has a strong. That division has actually turned upside down with the inclusion of DC Royals. Rising Stars has decided to part ways with WMCB. It is easy to form a team, difficult to sustain. It is easy for you to win a championship from Premier Division and come into Elite Division. To sustain and survive in Elite Division takes a skill set in WMCB. The landscape has different. For example, qualification criteria. Historically, it's been 40% round down. Means if you're playing 10 games, you only got to pay 4.
Yeah.
Really. Starting this year, it's 60% round up. You're playing 10 games. You better have all your A player play minimum of 6 games if they want to qualify in quarterfinal. The teams will focus on talent. If they want to win a championship, they'll focus on talent. Not 1 game, not 2 games, 6 games. From a league perspective, that's 60% of my portfolio. All right. Premier Division, we have made intense schedule for them because again we want that group to be growth based, learn, perform, make your way up. Promotion and demotion is part of the game, right? That group is starting this year going to play 10 games in 7 weeks. What it means is that you're going to have 5 weeks of back-to-back cricket. Again, no quarterfinal. So if you're playing Saturday, if you're playing Sunday, as a player and as a team owner or as a team manager, pick your poison. Do you want your core players to go waste time in other competitive leagues or continue focusing on one league with one mission of winning championship? The landscape has changed from a vision perspective. This is how we are going to make sure that my lowest ranking team in my lowest possible division would be able to compete with the highest ranking team in their highest ranking division.
And so one of the biggest grief that I have with that, and as a player, paid tournaments, paid extra crazy amount of money for championships, and people are motivated. And right now, our incentivization scheme has been.
It all comes down to bloated government and a bureaucracy. If you allow a fostering of such a cartel type cricket game in DMV region, that's what you're gonna get, right? You pay what you want. So at the end of the day, is this a problem? Yes. Is this a region-wide problem? Yes. Is WMCB immune to it? No. But in WMCB, this problem has been minimal. Being able to showcase progress report in last 25 years without, remember, WMCB has been treated as a stepchild in DMV area. You've been playing around cricket for a long time.
WCL has been the first kind of initiator. Anything afterwards, it is what it is.
Look at today's landscape. If anybody can say your league is a stepchild of XYZ, I would challenge them. Look where we are today. We have some of the phenomenal players came out of WMCB. Behra brothers, who represented US cricket, or still representing US cricket, they came out of Washington. Adil Venkatesh, product of WMCB. Lot of other players are also the product of WMCB. We believe in fostering relationship, and we believe in creating a culture where everybody feel valued and everybody feel that, yep, that's what I want to do. It all comes down to what type of brand of cricket you want to develop in DMV area. You mentioned paid tournaments here and there. Yes, we as a league have failed to provide a platform, or such a platform, to these people where these self-appointed Chaudhurys have came up with their own concept and say, you know what, you guys don't want to do shit? Okay, if you take ownership of giving your players a platform to perform, what is their reason to go somewhere else? Is the monetary problem? You're a big league.
Yeah.
You can solve that. We publish the schedule 22nd of February. No other league have done it. 22nd of February. My entire schedule with the umpiring assignment has been published on our website and on our app. That's a month early. We announced our summer plans, summer tournament, interstate championship. Maryland versus Virginia for one cup, $5,000. Riddle Cup, test match concept. Lessons learned. Who in DMV area in last 25 years have conducted a test match?
Yeah.
No one. Today match 4 innings, 50 overs each. Different initiative. Tell me a single league who have done it.
In WMCB and WCL, we'll be highlighting more players. Before, there was good content writing and all of that good stuff, but now what we wanted to do is showcase the younger players performing in the league, rather than just posting pictures on Facebook, but really get their thoughts, right? What's their game preparation like? What's their next steps? What are they going to do? Who's going to be a good team to watch?
WMCB is applying a different approach this year. We have actually hired a professional company to do our marketing push. We have also launched several of our initiatives to focus, which are solely focused on our league sponsors. They have trusted the league to give them the return on their investment. We launched a monthly marketing program highlighting our sponsors, right?
Accolades would definitely be part of that journey. I have committed the same responsibility. Would love to be part of that journey.
Absolutely. We would welcome you. Anybody who wants to foster cricket in DMV area with a good intention and a good heart, WMCB is always there for them. We are here to support. We are a strong, growing community of cricket. And again, having 1,400 actively playing registered members is no joke. Because of this strength and power, we have been able to actually push certain politicians to do the things in our favor. Come on, you need X, solve our problems, right? And they have stepped up and supported us.
Now, my last question, I think to cap off things, usually we ask our guests, tell me a sport you would like to merge with cricket.
Merge a tennis with cricket.
And cricket.
The concept is evolving called box cricket.
Thank you for being on the pod. If you have any questions, we'd love to bring this guy back on and see what we can do in the mid-season review.
Sure, Charan. Thank you for having me.